Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur, coming up in the next 1 hour. At least 5 people killed, 14 injured after a landslide on Mata Vaishno Devi route in India's Jammu. Army, JKP, CRPF, Shrine Court carry out rescue and relief operations. Heavy rainfall continues to wreak havoc across Jammu. Rains and flood also wreak havoc in other parts of India, including Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh. Met Department forecasts more rain in store for other parts of the country. Trump to hold key meeting on Gaza at White House, predicts conclusive ending of the conflict by end of the year. Trump-Fed feud escalates as central bank's Governor Cook plans to sue over illegal firing, while US President mulls replacement. And on the third day of the US Open, world number 1 Jannik Sinner and Wimbledon champion Iga Swiatek breeze into the second round. Let's get to the weather updates. First, in Jammu, at least 5 people were killed and 14 were injured after heavy rainfall led to a landslide on the route to Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine atop the Tirkutia Hill on Tuesday afternoon. Authorities fear the toll would rise further. Rescue operations are underway and the pilgrimage was suspended. All devotees are advised to replan their yatra to the shrine once the weather improves. Sri Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine Board has established a dedicated helpline desk at ENR Niharika. The contact numbers are 99060 99060 and 910349155. The helpline numbers are up your screens. Relief column of Indian Army's White Knight Corps at Atkuwari in concert with rescue parties of Shrine Board, JKP and CRPF are assisting the victims of the landslide. So far, more than 3,500 people have been rescued. Close coordination with all agencies is being carried out to maximize humanitarian aid. The spell of rain continues in Jammu for the third consecutive day on Wednesday. All government and private schools, colleges, institutes and universities will remain closed today. In view of the situation, the centre has ordered activation of intra-circle roaming services in Jammu and Kashmir. The traffic on the Jammu-Srinagar and Kishtwar-Doda national highways was suspended, while dozens of hilly roads were blocked or damaged by landslides or flash floods. Indian Army continues to conduct search and relief operations in the flood-affected areas. All right, to get us more details, our correspondent Ankush is joining us from Jammu. Ankush, get us the latest. How has the morning begun today? And also, when we talk of the relief and rescue operations at Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine, what is the latest you can update us with?
Well, the spill of rain has been continued in Jammu for the third day, and the daily life disrupted here in Jammu. And approximately more than 3,500 people were rescued yesterday. Yesterday in Jammu, there was a flood-like situation in many parts of Jammu, and SDRF, NDRF, Army, police, and NGOs were on the job, and rescue operations are still underway in many parts of Jammu division. Meanwhile, CM Amr Abdullah and Home Minister Amit Shah spoke with each other on the current situation, and CM Amr Abdullah briefed him about the current situation in Jammu. Therefore, in Shri Mata Vaishno Devi in Katra, Ardhkwari, landslide witnessed yesterday. Landslide occurred there, and which leads many injuries and casualties as well. On precautionary measures placed in Jammu, Jammu administration ordered for the closure of government and private universities, schools, colleges, and government offices as well. According to meteorology department, the weather will remain same today as well, and in different parts of Jammu, the rescue operations are still underway. The Tavi and Chenab rivers are still flowing above the danger level, so danger is still there. So people are advised to stay indoors and don't rush nearby the water bodies. Meanwhile, in Jammu and Kashmir, in many parts of Jammu division, internet and calling services disrupted, and authorities are working tirelessly to restore the services. Meanwhile, center ordered yesterday evening for the inter-circle roaming service for Jammu and Kashmir, the activation of inter-circle roaming service for Jammu and Kashmir, because people are not able to access internet and mobile phone services in affected areas. So center ordered for the inter-circle roaming services for the region till 2nd of September. Meanwhile, right now in Jammu, in different parts of Jammu got affected, and yesterday many houses were damaged and shops were damaged. Huge loss for Jammu residents, and I can say the daily life is totally disrupted here. This is what I have so far.
All right, so daily life is disrupted there. Thank you so much, Ankush, for joining in with those updates from Jammu. That was our correspondent Ankush joining us from Jammu and telling us about the havoc that has been wreaked by the rains there. Moving on to other parts of the country, as per the latest update from the India Meteorological Department, persistent rainfall is to be expected for multiple Indian states. Heavy showers at isolated places are predicted in Mumbai until August 29th. Neighbouring Thane is also bracing for heavy rains, while Pune is likely to experience light to moderate rains accompanied by thunder showers during the same period. In Rajasthan, the monsoon continues to deliver heavy to very heavy rainfall across several regions. The Met Centre in Jaipur has issued an orange alert for extremely heavy rainfall in Rajsamand, Sirohi and Udaipur districts. Heavy rains have triggered landslides and swollen rivers and streams, disrupting road connectivity in several parts of Himachal Pradesh. As per the Met Department, in the month of August, the state has received 62% more rain than normal, especially in Kullu district. It has rained 155% more than normal. Shimla has received 112%, Solan has received 117%, and Una district has received 128% more rain than normal. The downpour has caused extensive damage to the Kiratpur-Manali National Highway at multiple locations, forcing its closure to traffic. Several other roads and a restaurant were swept away in Manali, while locals were evacuated in Mandi. Almost all districts in the hill state, except Lahore and Spiti, have been receiving rainfall since Sunday night, with no respite expected until 1st of September. As a precaution, schools and government institutions in the affected areas remain closed today. So these are the harrowing visuals we're getting for you from Himachal Pradesh, where rains have wreaked havoc and have made life terrible for the people there. Heavy rains are predicted in the days ahead as well. Road connectivity has been disrupted in several parts of the hilly state, and also the Met Department predicts that rains will continue until August 29th. The highways, the National Highway, Kiratpur-Manali National Highway has been affected and it has been closed to traffic. People in Himachal Pradesh bracing the fury of nature. Inclement weather and heavy rainfall have disrupted life, connectivity in the state of Himachal Pradesh. Our correspondent Rachna is joining us from Himachal Pradesh to get us more. Rachna, we have been showing harrowing visuals coming in from Himachal Pradesh, showing how life has disrupted in the hilly state. You get us more. How has the weather been predicted for the day ahead? How has the morning begun?
Hi Preeti, it's been 3 weeks. It's been months that Himachal Pradesh is facing this furious monsoon. If I may talk about this state, that Chamba, Kangra, Kullu Manali are the worst affected areas. Telecommunications, power sector, water sector, and the basic amenities has been completely disruptive in the districts. Particularly in Kullu Manali and in Chamba district. In fact, yesterday the DC has ordered a reserved oil as well. Petrol pumps who has like 25,000 liters capacity, they have to reserve 5,000 liters of petrol pump in their petrol pump. Apart from that, today and for the next 48 hours, monsoon has been taken a seat back, but after that, it has been orange alert across the state. Thank you.
All right, Rachna, thank you for joining in with those updates from Himachal Pradesh, from Shimla. And from here, we now turn focus to the weather updates coming in from Punjab. Heavy rain and overflowing rivers wreaked havoc across 7 districts of Punjab, with Army and BSF joining the rescue and relief operations that included the use of helicopters and boats. The Met Department has issued an orange alert for 11 districts in most parts of the state. So far, around 130 villages across 7 districts remain badly affected. In a swift and daring operation, Indian Army Aviation evacuated 22 CRPF personnel along with 3 civilians who had been stranded near Madhopur headworks since yesterday. In a turn of events that underscores the urgency of the operation, the building where they had been sheltering collapsed shortly after the evacuation, highlighting the timeliness and precision of the rescue effort. This successful operation once again reflects the Indian Army's unwavering commitment to safeguarding lives and its ability to respond promptly in crisis situations. The synergy between Indian Army and the local authorities ensured that a potential tragedy was averted. Let's get you an update on Typhoon Kajiki now. The death toll has risen to 3 in Vietnam as rescue workers battled uprooted trees and downed power lines. Widespread flooding has brought chaos to the streets of the capital, Hanoi. The typhoon hit central Vietnam on Monday with heavy winds, tearing roofs off thousands of homes and knocking out power to more than 1.6 million people. Vietnam has long been affected by seasonal typhoons, but human-caused climate change is driving more intense and unpredictable weather patterns. While France's southeast continues to battle scorching blaze of wildfires with over 1 million hectares of land across the European Union affected so far this year. As of Tuesday, an estimated 100,000 hectares of area larger than the island nation of Cyprus had been ravaged by fire. The record-breaking fires come amid an intense summer heat wave that has shattered temperature records across southern France and fueled fire risks in several countries. Spanish firefighters fight relentless battle against a series of wildfires that have ravaged the country's northwest in recent weeks. With over 15 active blazes still threatening homes, forests and farmlands, officials have described the situation as one of the worst environmental disasters Spain has faced in years. The fires, fueled by extreme summer heat and prolonged drought conditions, have scorched thousands of hectares across the regions of Galicia and Castilla y Leon. So that sums up the weather fury across India and the rest of the world. You're watching DD India News Hour. We're heading for a short break, but after the break, amidst warnings of Europe of sanctions snap back soon, Iran holds nuclear talks with EU powers, urges diplomacy over pressure tactics. US Special Envoy Steve Witkoff to meet representatives from Ukraine in New York this week. Troubles further mount for former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro. A Brazilian judge declares Bolsonaro a flight risk and places him under round-the-clock watch.
issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India News. Let's continue getting you more updates. US President Donald Trump will chair a meeting on Gaza at the White House on Wednesday. US Special Envoy Steve Witkoff said that Washington expected Israel's conflict in the Palestinian territory to be settled by the end of the year. Trump's term began with a ceasefire which lasted 2 months. Trump stunned the world earlier this year when he suggested the United States should take control of the Gaza Strip, clear out its 2 million inhabitants, and build seaside real estate. Trump said the United States would remove rubble and unexploded bombs and turn Gaza into the Riviera of the Middle East. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu praised the proposal, which was heavily criticized by many European and Arab states. In an interview to a news channel, Witkoff said that they're putting a very comprehensive plan. He also said that Israel was open to continuing discussions with Palestinian militant group Hamas. He also said Hamas had signaled that they were open to a settlement. Iran held talks on Tuesday with European powers seeking to avert a sanctions snapback which they had threatened to impose under the moribund 2015 nuclear deal. The European trio, Britain, France and Germany, parties to the landmark 2015 Iran nuclear deal, have threatened to trigger the accord's snapback mechanism by the end of August. Iranian Deputy Foreign Minister, who attended the talks with Britain, France and Germany in Geneva, said in a post on X that it was high time for the European trio to make the right choice and give diplomacy time and space. Tuesday's meeting was the second round of talks with European diplomats since the end of a 12-day war between Iran and Israel in June, triggered by an unprecedented Israeli surprise attack. The move would reimpose sweeping UN sanctions lifted under the 2015 agreement unless Iran agreed to curb its uranium enrichment and restore cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency inspectors. Donald Trump's Fed feud intensifies as U.S. Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook will be challenging Trump's attempt to remove her from the central bank after the U.S. leader ramped up pressure on the institution. Her lawyer, attorney Abby Lowell, said that Trump's attempt to fire Lisa Cook lacks legal and factual basis and announced plans to file a lawsuit challenging the action. Trump removed Lisa Cook on Monday, citing allegations of false statements related to her mortgage agreements, expanding pressure on the independent central bank. Citing the Federal Reserve Act, Trump said in a letter to Lisa Cook that he found sufficient cause to remove her from her position. Meanwhile, as per the Wall Street Journal, potential candidates to replace Lisa Cook include Trump advisor Stephen Miran and former World Bank President David Malpass, a close ally who has criticized the Fed for not cutting interest rates.
Well, we have some very good people for that position, and I think we have some very good people. We're down to, I think I maybe in my own mind have somebody that I like, but I deal with Scott and I deal with Howard, and we're dealing with a lot of people actually that are going to be involved in that decision ultimately. It's a very important decision.
U.S. President Donald Trump said on Tuesday that he's prepared to impose economic sanctions against Russia if Vladimir Putin fails to agree to a ceasefire. At a cabinet meeting, Trump said that it will not be a world war, but it will be an economic war. Trump is seeking one-on-one talks with Ukrainian President Zelensky and Putin. Though Zelensky has agreed in principle to such talks, Putin has not.
I want to see that deal end. It's very serious what I have in mind if I have to do it, but I want to see it end. I think that in many ways he's there. Sometimes he'll be there and Zelensky won't be there. You know, it's like, who do we have today? I got to get them both at the same time. But I want to have it end. We have economic sanctions. I'm talking about economic. because we're not going to get into a world war.
U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff will meet with representatives from Ukraine in New York this week. Witkoff said that Washington continues to talk with Russia as the United States seeks an end to the Ukraine conflict. He thought Russian President Vladimir Putin wanted to bring an end to the conflict. He said Putin made a good faith effort to engage. President Trump held a summit with Putin in Alaska on August 15th and a meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky as well as NATO and European leaders at the White House on August 18. Following those meetings, Trump said Zelensky and Putin would hold a bilateral meeting before a trilateral meeting that would also include Trump. He had vowed a swift end to the conflict that began in 2022 when he took office in January, but is yet to achieve that objective. U.S. envoy Tom Barrack said on Tuesday that Washington would support the extension of the mandate of United Nations peacekeepers in Lebanon for 1 more year. A planned vote at the UN Security Council on the future of the UNIFIL peacekeeping force in southern Lebanon, whose mandate ends on Sunday, has been postponed amid U.S. and Israeli opposition to the draft text. A new draft text would extend the peacekeeping mission, first deployed in 1978, to separate Israel and Lebanon, followed by its withdrawal by the end of 2027. The draft would decide to terminate the mandate of UNIFIL on December 31st, 2026, and to start an orderly and safe drawdown and withdrawal within 1 year. Barrack told journalists from Lebanon's presidential palace that the United States position is that we will extend for 1 year. The Security Council was initially expected to vote on Monday on a French-drafted text that would have kept UNIFIL in place for another year while it prepares to withdraw.
$1 billion a year, 22 years of efficacy, and you're in a swamp. They haven't fired a bullet. They haven't fired a shot. You're in a worse dilemma than you've ever been with Israel and Hezbollah. The Secretary of the United States position is we will extend for 1 year. That's our position today.
A Brazilian judge declared far-right ex-president Jair Bolsonaro from Brazil, who is under house arrest while awaiting the verdict in his coup plotting trial, a flight risk and placed him under round-the-clock watch. Bolsonaro faces 40 years in prison if convicted of plotting to cling onto power after losing the 2022 elections to left-winger Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. The verdict in the case is expected early next month. Supreme Court Justice Alexandre de Moraes was acting on a request from the Brazilian prosecutor's office. Bolsonaro is accused of leading a criminal organization that aimed to prevent Lula from taking power after he narrowly defeated Bolsonaro in October 2022 election. U.S. President Donald Trump announced his plans to seek the death penalty in Washington, D.C. homicide cases. He called it a strong deterrent against violent crime. He criticized the city's handling of public safety and suggested taking over management if crime persists. Although Washington, D.C. banned the death penalty for local crimes, federal law still allows it, and the U.S. Attorney's Office can pursue such charges. City officials say crime has actually dropped since the 2023 spike. Critics are deeming the move to be political, which undermines D.C.'s local authority, with Trump hinting at expanding similar actions to other major cities. Kilmer Abrego Garcia, the migrant whose wrongful deportation to his native El Salvador made him a symbol of President Trump's immigration crackdown, may be deported a second time, this time to Uganda. He was detained again by U.S. immigration officials in Baltimore on Monday. The Trump administration's push to deport Abrego, 30 years of age, to an African country where he has no ties is the latest swift in the saga that began in March when U.S. authorities mistakenly sent him to El Salvador. Abrego was brought back in June to face criminal charges of transporting migrants living in the U.S. illegally and was released on bond on Friday. Abrego, a sheet metal worker who entered the United States illegally, has been living in Maryland with his wife, their child, and 2 of her children, all of whom are American citizens, when he was arrested and sent to El Salvador. South Korean President Lee Jae-myung is in Washington on his first official U.S. visit. Meeting President Donald Trump at the White House, the two leaders pledged deeper economic and security ties, with shipbuilding emerging as a key focus. Trump also hinted at a possible meeting with Kim Jong-un as both nations aim to strengthen their alliance. Mohammad Afzarul Hasan has more on this report.
South Korean President Lee Jae-myung is on a two-day official visit to the United States. On Monday, he was hosted at the White House by US President Donald Trump. At the Oval Office, the two leaders pledged to make America shipbuilding great again, a symbolic highlight of Lee's first US trip as president. Amid ongoing negotiations over trade and security, shipbuilding emerged as a cornerstone of future cooperation. Under a $350 billion South Korean investment plans for US industries, $150 billion is earmarked specifically for shipbuilding. President Trump said revitalizing the sector is essential to compete with China, currently the world's largest shipbuilder and operator of the biggest maritime force.
Where we do a lot of trade with South Korea, as you know. We are thinking about contracting some ships. They build them very well in South Korea. They're also thinking about coming to our country with some shipyards to start us on the process of building ships.
President Lee praised Trump's leadership, calling him a peacemaker and the only global leader capable of ending the decades-long division on the Korean peninsula.
And one thing that I wanted to say to you is that America's role, not as a keeper of peace, but a maker of peace, is being more is emerging more evidently. Many wars in Europe, in Asia, in Africa, and in the Middle East are coming to peace because of the role that you are playing. So among the many world leaders, I believe that you are the only leader who has made such accomplishments.
President Trump also expressed interest in gaining ownership of land under US military bases in South Korea. The two sides discussed alliance strengthening, peninsula stability, and deeper manufacturing partnerships. Trump hinted at another meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, emphasizing their strong personal ties. Meanwhile, North Korea criticized ongoing US-South Korea military drills. State media accused Washington of attempting to occupy the peninsula and threaten regional rivals. Trump's meeting with President Lee follows recent criticism of Seoul's handling of former President Yoon's impeachment, an issue that has stirred political debate back in South Korea. The US-South Korea summit marks a renewed commitment to economic cooperation and peace. With shipbuilding at the forefront, both nations aim to strengthen their alliance and regional stability moving forward. Mohammad Afzarul Hasan for DD India.
Now we take a look at other stories making the headlines from across the world. British record listing platform Guinness World Record is commemorating 70 years of its inception today. The initiative first began in the United Kingdom, commissioned by Guinness breweries. Over the decades, it evolved into a global franchise recognizing extraordinary and quirky achievements. The milestone highlights Guinness' enduring appeal in honoring human achievements across the boundaries. A harmful insect is attacking palm trees in Uruguay. It was first found in 2022 in Soca, Canelones, and is now spreading fast. The insect eats a popular palm tree called Phoenix canarensis. Old trees are dying, and experts worry it could also spread to Argentina and Brazil. People are calling for action to stop it. You're watching DD India News. We're heading for a short break, but after the break, India and the US hold 2+2 intersessional dialogue to discuss regional security developments and shared strategic priorities. Exports of Ladakhi, Kargil, Halman apricots to Middle East countries spike up, given the much-needed boost to Ladakh's agricultural products in international markets. People welcome Bappa with much fervour and gaiety. Stay with us for the special celebrations we get for you from Mumbai.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Johar. Johar. It fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout ho gaya.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
This week on Defense Dynamics, we decode India-France jet engine collaboration. We explain how the Agni 5 test.
Welcome back. After the break, you're watching DD India News Hour. A quick relook at the top stories now. At least 5 people killed and 14 injured after a landslide on Mata Vaishno Devi route in India's Jammu. Army, police, CRPF, Shrine Board carry out rescue and relief operations. Heavy rainfall continues to wreak havoc across Jammu. Rains and flood also make life miserable in other parts of India, including Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh. Met Department forecasts more rain in store for other parts of the country. Trump to hold key meeting on Gaza at White House, predicts conclusive ending of the conflict by end of the year. Trump-Fed feud escalates as central bank's Governor Cook plans to sue over illegal firing, while US President mulls replacement. And on the third day of the US Open, world number 1 Yannick Sinner and Wimbledon champion Iga Swiatek breeze into the second round. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to embark on a 4-day visit to Japan and China from August 29th onwards. The Indian Prime Minister's engagements include the 15th India-Japan Annual Summit and the 25th meeting of the Council of Heads of State of the Shanghai Cooperation Council in Tianjin. Take a look.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will embark on a crucial 4-day visit to Japan and China from 28th of August. His engagements will begin in Tokyo with the 15th India-Japan Annual Summit, which will set the agenda for the spatial strategic and global partnership between the two nations.
This is a significant visit for several reasons. It's Prime Minister Modi's first annual summit with Prime Minister Ishiba. It is also his first standalone visit to Japan in nearly 7 years. He last visited for the annual summit in 2018. This will be a visit that will be fully dedicated to the bilateral agenda between India and Japan. This is also Prime Minister's 8th visit to Japan since he took office in 2014.
Over the last decade, India and Japan have steadily expanded cooperation in defense and security, science and technology, infrastructure, mobility, and deep people-to-people exchanges. Prime Minister will meet prominent political leaders of Japan and take part in Business Leaders Forum with captains of Indian and Japanese industry. These interactions are aimed at deepening trade, investment, and technology relationships between the two countries. Ahead of the visit, India's Foreign Secretary said India attaches a high value to the Quad Group. He added that leaders of India and Japan want to further their cooperation on issues such as critical minerals under the framework of Quad Group.
The Quad is indeed an important platform for working on and promoting peace, stability, prosperity and development in the Indo-Pacific region. It covers critical and emerging technologies. There's an initiative with regard to critical minerals that has been discussed recently. So these are all issues that are a priority both for India and for Japan. Both our countries attach high value to this forum and to this partnership.
From Japan, Prime Minister Modi will travel to China for the SCO summit. On August 31st and September 1st, he will join the 25th meeting of the heads of the states of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization.
Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi will visit Tianjin, China for the 25th meeting of the Council of Heads of State of the Shanghai Cooperation Council, the SCO. The SCO was established with the primary goal of countering 3 evils of terrorism, separatism and extremism, which continue to remain a challenge. Today, as a regional platform, there is a broader range of sectors of cooperation among the SCO members.
The SCO brings together 10 countries: India, Belarus, China, Iran, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Pakistan, Russia, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. During India's presidency in 2023, the SCO adopted a joint statement on countering radicalization, extremism and terrorism. Security cooperation remains a focus area of SCO. Bureau Report, DD India.
Chief of Army Staff General Upendra Dwivedi, who is on a 4-day official visit to Algeria, visited the Chertoul Military Academy, Algeria's premier institution for officer training. This marks his first overseas engagement since the successful conclusion of Operation Sindoor. During his visit, he was briefed on Academy's vital role in preparing cadets for leadership as officers in the Algerian army. He interacted with the faculty, commending their dedication and high standards of the training. Chief of Army Staff Dwivedi also expressed interest in fostering cooperation and the exchange of best practices between the Chertoul Academy and training institutes of the Indian Armed Forces. The visit underscores India's intent to deepen defense ties with the Maghreb Sahel region of Africa. India-US 2+2 intersessional dialogue was held virtually on Tuesday, where officials discussed regional security developments and exchanged perspectives on a number of shared strategic priorities. They discussed trade and investment, energy security, including strengthening civil nuclear cooperation, critical minerals exploration, counter-narcotics and counter-terrorism cooperation, and more. Both sides looked forward to increasing defense cooperation, including signing a new 10-year framework for India-US major defense partnership, as well as advancing defense industrial, scientific and technological cooperation, operational coordination, regional cooperation and information sharing. The chairs reaffirmed their commitment to promoting a safer, stronger and a more prosperous Indo-Pacific region through the Quad. India and South Africa held a productive meeting on Tuesday with the Minister of Trade, Trade, Industry and Competition, Park Stow, holding talks with his Indian counterpart, Piyush Goyal. The two sides exchanged views on strengthening bilateral trade and investment ties, enhancing industrial partnerships, and exploring new avenues for collaboration in diverse sectors such as pharmaceuticals, services, and tourism. Minister of State for Foreign Trade Affairs, Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al Saeed of Qatar, arrived in India on Tuesday. He is leading a high-level investment delegation from Qatar. The minister last visited India on 2nd and 3rd of December 2024 and participated in the CII Partnership Summit. He also met Indian counterpart Piyush Goyal on the sidelines. India and Qatar held the first meeting of the Joint Task Force on Investment in June last year in New Delhi. The two sides held comprehensive discussions on boosting India-Qatar investment partnership and required steps for the same. Famous for its rich sweetness and organic purity, the Ladakh apricot is more than just a fruit. It's a heritage now being exported abroad. For the first time, fresh Ladakhi Kargil Holman apricots are being exported to Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Qatar. This is aiming to boost Ladakh's agricultural products in international markets. Known for their exceptional taste and quality, Ladakh's apricots are counted among the finest in the world. Ladakh produces around 15,868 tons of apricots annually, with 2/3 coming from Kargil and 1/3 from Leh district. The festival of Ganesh Chaturthi is being celebrated from today, marking the birth of Lord Ganesha, the remover of obstacles and the god of wisdom and prosperity. Special celebrations are taking place in Mumbai with lakhs of devotees thronging at the iconic Lal Bagh Raja. For 10 days, it becomes the heart of Mumbai's celebrations, drawing devotees and visitors from across India and abroad. Besides, people also welcome Ganesha idols into their homes, observe fasts, prepare delicious treats and visit pandals throughout the celebration. The tradition of Lal Bagh Raja began in 1934 and has since become one of the most respected Ganeshotsavs in India. In Gujarat's city of Ahmedabad, large number of devotees are also offering prayers since this morning at various Ganesh temples. Ganesh Chaturthi, which lasts 10 days, is marked by prayers, aartis and community celebrations, culminating in the Visarjan, where idols are immersed in water amid chants and music. This year, Ganesh Visarjan will take place next Saturday, that is 6th of September. President Draupadi Murmu has extended greetings on Ganesh Chaturthi. On social media platform X, she wrote, and I quote her, "Heartiest Ganesh Chaturthi greetings to all Indians residing in the country and abroad. This great festival is celebrated with joy and enthusiasm as the birth anniversary of Lord Sri Ganesh, the deity of wisdom and discernment. I pray to the obstacle remover, Lord Sri Ganesh, that he continues to remove all obstacles from the path of individual building and nation building. And with his blessings, all countrymen, while adopting an environment-friendly lifestyle, remain dedicated to the construction of a strong India. Ganpati Bappa Moria. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also extended his heartfelt greetings on the occasion of Ganesh Chaturthi. Sharing on X, he wrote and echoed him, heartfelt Ganesh Chaturthi wishes to all of you. May this sacred occasion filled with devotion and faith brings auspiciousness to everyone. I pray to Lord Gajanan that he blesses all his devotees with happiness, peace and excellent health. Ganpati Bappa Moria. A quick look at other stories making it to the headlines from across India. Before that, we will get more on Ganesh Chaturthi and we go across to our correspondent Shama, who is joining us from Mumbai. Shama, good morning. It's a beautiful morning and I see you also decked up and the pandal behind you also decked up, and it is yes, and it is, and I can see a lot of people there at the pandal. Get us more. What are you witnessing there? How is Mumbai celebrating Ganesh Chaturthi?
Well, Preeti, a very happy Ganesh Chaturthi, Ganpati Bappa Moria. We are in Mumbai, and the entire Maharashtra has come alive, lit up with all the lights and decoration. And we are here at GSB Ganesh Seva Mandal. I'll show you the visuals of Lord Ganpati Bappa, who's sitting over here and sitting so cutely. And if you see the entire idol, the idol is completely environment friendly, as in it is made from clay, which is known as Shadu Chimati here in Maharashtra, in Mumbai, in Marathi language rather. One of the most unique things about this Lord is that this is the richest Ganpati Mandals in the entire Maharashtra. Gold ornaments and other things of gold, made of gold, is close to 65 kgs. Silver over here, if you see the Sinhasan of the Lord and other ornaments, it's above 300 kgs. This mandal has done a whopping insurance of 400 crores or more than 400 crores. And the interesting fact of this is it just not covers the ornaments of the Lord, but it also covers the volunteers, it also covers the devotees who've come over here. And we were just talking to the spokesperson over here, and while he was mentioning about the new themes, new digital schemes over here that they have included, they have introduced, it's been it's been very busy since morning. And I did show you in the morning, and now also again I'm showing you that the crowd over here is so huge. And since morning, before the sunrise, there have been people in huge queues that have thronged the pandal. Also, when we are talking about Mumbai is basically, and entire Maharashtra is basically one place which has come alive, and it will be alive for the next 10 days. People will be really happy celebrating, and the entire streets would be lit up, would be up entire night. There'll be so much good food, there'll be so much celebrations, there'll be fun and fair. Also, this is a time to ponder, and many pandals rather, they come up with social messages, initiatives wherein they convey social messages to the people, and from their pandals they put up themes or the picture wherein structures or the cutouts are completely displaying various themes, including women empowerment, Operation Sindoor. This particular Ganpati is the environment-friendly Ganpati. So many pandals have also come up with Ganpati messages which portrays or showcases, emphasizes mainly on environment-friendly part. The entire Maharashtra, if you see from today, most of the people, most of the households rather, have already welcomed Bappa, and bringing of Bappa starts a month ago, which is a huge pattern over here now. It's got trend. So most of the places, pandals, households have already had their Ganpatis installed in their house. Now from tomorrow onwards, the Visarjan would begin. So 1.5 day, 3 day, 5 days, which is Gauri Ganpati, so on and so forth. till 6th of September, the Ganpati Visarjan will go on, and like I've said, that Mumbai and Maharashtra is really looking forward to this festival, and this is the time of festival after Govinda, Janmashtami, this is Ganesh Chaturthi. Festivals have begun, but this is one of the festivals that Maharashtra and people of Mumbai and Maharashtra, they really look forward to, because this is all devotion, all fun, and all a time about, you know, being together and celebrating everything. Preeti.
All right, Shama, we'll end it here. So Mumbai will be submerged again, not in rains this time, but in electric celebrations marking Ganesh Chaturthi. Thank you so much for those updates from Mumbai. All right, with that, we are heading for a short break. You're watching DD India News Hour, but after the break, US Treasury yields dollar fall as investors wary over Fed independence. FIDE confirms Goa as the venue for the Chess World Cup 2025. The cricket world celebrates Don Bradman's 117th birth anniversary.
This week on Defense Dynamics, we decode India-France jet engine collaboration. We explain how the Agni 5 test reinforces peace through strength, and how INS Himgiri showcases India's indigenous naval power. We also analyze Israel's Rampage missile and how it boosts Indian Air Force's precision strike edge, and why Indian Army Chief's visit to Algeria so important. Sharp insights, clear explanations, Defense Dynamics this Wednesday at 8 p.m. only on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India News Hour. Let's get you updates from the world of business now. US Treasury yields and the dollar eased on Tuesday as President Donald Trump's move to fire a central bank governor raised concerns about the bank's independence, while Wall Street stocks ended higher ahead of the results from Nvidia on Wednesday. Despite remaining inflation pressures, traders have been pricing in a 25 basis point interest rate cut for Fed's September policy meeting, encouraged by dovish signals from Fed Chair Jerome Powell, data pointing to labor market weakness and a shake-up at the central bank. The dollar fell against major currencies in the wake of the Cook news. A global stock index was little changed, while US stocks ended higher. Investors are awaiting Nvidia's results on Wednesday, and Friday's reading on US personal consumption prices, considered the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. Prime Minister Modi flagged off Maruti Suzuki's first global electric vehicle, e-Vitara, and hybrid battery electrodes plant in Gujarat. India currently has around 7.7% EV penetration in India, but it targets an ambitious 30% EV penetration by 2030. India has registered 5.67 million electric vehicles by February 2025, and that is reflecting rapid adoption of clean mobility. We get you a detailed report on India's electric leap in mobility with Wheels of Change.
If one were to ask you what is the hallmark of a thriving city, you might say quieter streets, cleaner air, with vehicles passing by silently. Well, that's what green mobility is all about. Eco-friendly transportation designed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, air pollution, noise pollution, while promoting energy efficiency. As Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the Green Mobility Initiatives in Hansalpur, Gujarat on Tuesday, he said EVs are no longer alternative options. They represent the future of India. Let's now take a look at India's green mobility drive. India has 5.67 million EVs registered as of February this year. India's current EV penetration is around 7.7%, but it has an ambitious target to achieve 30% EV penetration in the next 5 years. GST on EVs has been reduced from 12 to 5%. Thus, battery-operated vehicles are exempt from permit requirements. In the latest model building bylaws, charging stations are mandatory in private and commercial buildings. Indian government plans to enhance its EV infrastructure through the recently launched PM E-Drive scheme. PM eDrive stands for Electric Drive Revolution in Innovative Vehicle Enhancement. This scheme is applicable mainly to E2Vs, that is E2-wheelers and E3-wheelers registered for commercial purposes. Under the scheme, a dedicated budget has been allocated for e-ambulances. PM eDrive scheme follows FAME 1 and FAME 2 schemes announced in 2015 and 2019. 2,636 charging stations in 62 cities were sanctioned under FAME 2. Not just this, India's National Green Hydrogen Mission envisions to make the country a global hub for green hydrogen production. India's green hydrogen production capacity is likely to reach 5 million tons per annum by 2030. Apart from green hydrogen, India is also focusing on other green fuels like ethanol, with a structured blending program showing great success. In July this year, India exceeded its target of blending 20% ethanol with its petrol 5 years ahead of schedule. Since 2014, ethanol blending has helped India cut millions of tons in carbon dioxide emissions. In a major step towards India's clean transport future, Niti Aayog unveiled the India Electric Mobility Index (IEMI) in August this year to track the progress on our electric mobility ambitions. Delhi, Maharashtra and Chandigarh are leading as frontrunners in the recent IEMI score. So have you made your switch to EV yet? I'm Vita Neja for DD India.
And from here, we now turn focus to sports. We'll talk of tennis first. In the US Open 2025, Iga Swiatek and Jannik Sinner cruised to the second round with routine wins. Wimbledon winner Swiatek cruised past Emiliana Arango 6-1, 6-2 in an hour without facing a breakpoint. Swiatek has been in exquisite form since the Cincinnati Open. She will next face Suzanne Lemons in round 2. In the other women's singles action, French Open winner Coco Gauff secured a hard-fought victory over Ashla Tomaljonovic. Gauff had to dig deep in a classic three-set thriller to advance to the next round. She will face Donna Vekic in round 2. Meanwhile, top-ranked men's defending champion Jannik Sinner thrashed Vit Kopriva in straight sets. Sinner eased into the second round, where he will face Australia's Alexei Papirin. International Chess Federation has confirmed Goa as the venue for the Chess World Cup 2025, where top-tier players from around the globe are set to compete. India last hosted the tournament in 2002 in Hyderabad, which concluded with Grandmaster Vishwanathan Anand lifting the crown. The much-awaited spectacle brings together 206 players competing on India's west coast. Every round will be a win-or-go-home affair, making the World Cup one of the most dramatic tournaments on the calendar. Prime Minister Narendra Modi welcomed the announcement. He wrote on X, and I quote him, "India is delighted to be hosting the prestigious FIDE World Cup 2025, and that too after over 2 decades. Chess is gaining popularity among our youth. I'm sure this tournament will witness thrilling matches and showcase the brilliance of top players from around the world." Every generation of cricket has produced its icons, but very few names stand tall across the eras the way Donald Bradman's does. On his birth anniversary, the cricketing world pauses to remember the man whose bat rewrote the record books. From his unmatched average of 99.94 to the sheer dominance he displayed against the finest bowlers of his time, Bradman became a symbol of excellence and perfection. Here's more.
Donald Bradman, born on August 27, 1908, he became the face of Australian pride and cricketing perfection. At Sheffield Street, Bradman began his practice of hitting a golf ball against the brick base of a water tank, using a shortened cricket stump, helping to develop his splendid timing. In his first competitive match, aged 11, he scored 55 not out for his primary school. His initial century came playing for his high school the following season against Mittagong, making 115 out of the team's 156. This was the first of 211 centuries he would score in all formats of cricket. In February 1921, his father took him to the Sydney Cricket Ground to see the 5th Test match between Australia and England. He was enthralled by the experience, the only first-class cricket he witnessed before playing it himself. Throughout his career, the SCG remained his favourite ground. In just 52 tests, Bradman amassed 6,996 runs, averaging at staggering 99.94, a number etched in cricket's folklore. With 29 centuries, including multiple double and triple tons, his dominance was beyond imagination. Bradman first stamped his authority during the 1930 Ashes. At Headingley, he scored 309 runs in a single day, part of a record 974-run series haul, a benchmark no one has surpassed. His brilliance forced the opponents to create a whole strategy around him. The infamous bodyline tactics of 1932-33 Ashes is a proof how one man can dictate the entire game. The bodyline tactics were used by the England cricket team during the 1932-33 Ashes series in Australia. Captain Douglas instructed his fast bowlers to bowl short pitch deliveries aimed directly at the batsman's body, where the idea was to force batters into awkward defensive shots that could be caught by a packed leg side field. In his final test innings at the Oval in 1948, he needed just 4 runs for an average of 100. Instead, he was bowled for a duck by Eric Hollies. Cricket's most famous statistic froze at 99.94, leaving behind a touch of poetic imperfection. Knighted in 1949, Bradman's influence reached far beyond the pitch. His leadership, humility and vision for cricket remain unmatched. From generations of Australians to icons like Sachin Tendulkar, every cricketer has looked up to the Don. Decades may have passed, but the legacy of Donald Bradman still defines the game of cricket. His unmatched average of 99.94 still stands as the cricket's ultimate benchmark. The cricketing world, now on his birth anniversary, remembers him as a legend who redefined the game of cricket and batting for generations to come. With cameraman Rajendra Joshi, this is Meher Raj Singh for DD India, Delhi.
With that, we end this edition of DD India News Hour, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can download the respective QR codes. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India News Hour.